welcome to another vlog. So, as you may tell, I'm in a different location. I have got a camper van for the week. So, me and Bracken, she's puffing and panting and refusing to come and drink her water. I've got a van. I'll do a proper van tour later. But right now I'm going down there onto the beach. See you in a bit. Beach. It is very, very beautiful. It's one of Bracken's first times at the beach, so she's enjoying it. She keeps trying to drink the seawater, which is not a good idea. But it's cute, it's nice, lovely here. Hello! I thought I would start this vlog off a bit better. I'm currently sat in a car park. This week doing a little bit of a trip around Devon and Cornwall coast in a camper van. I have got, you probably can hear her puffing, I've got a puffed out hot dog little Bracken down here. Actually can't see her face there. There she is, Bracken. Hello my darling. She is all hot and bothered. So it's now about 3:30. We got here at about got here about 1 maybe. We went down to the beach, which I've got to get down to the beach from where I'm parked. I walk over the sand dunes and I'm on the beach. It's absolutely gorgeous. So if I actually flip you around properly, you can see it's just right there. Absolutely beautiful. So we went down to the beach. Bracken hasn't really been to the beach very often, so she kept on trying to drink the salt water and then would get upset when it wasn't drinking water. Played a little bit in the waves but didn't want to go too far away from me, which I'm fine with. And then we walked back along the beach back to the village. I'm very hot and sweaty as well. It's a hot day. We just walked through the village, got some chips, ate said chips. Now we've come back here because I realised I hadn't actually picked up a book, which, let's be honest, that's a serious, error in judgment if I'm going to be going out for the day. Also, I just wanted to sit down somewhere and just kind of like have a little bit of a chill, even though the van is hot. It's still nice to have somewhere that I can kind of sit down and just kind of relax for a minute. So this week, in an attempt to make this a vaguely reading-esque vlog, I've got 5 books to read. So, well, technically 8. So my audiobook that I'm currently listening to, which I'll be listening to while I'm driving, is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I'm about halfway through book 1. I'm yet to be convinced. I like it, I don't love it. It's one of those where I'm like, I'm not yet seeing what everybody else is seeing in it. Seeing what everybody else sees in it. Like it's fine, but it's not incredible. But I'm going to attempt to try and get through the trilogy. I have got quite a bit of driving planned. I won't get through all 3 books this week, but I hopefully should be able to get through book 1 and make a bit of a dent into book 2. I'm listening only at 1.75 just because I'm driving, so I've got to concentrate on driving rather than having to like tune in to a faster speed. Anyway, then in terms of real books, I have got 3 Percy Jackson books. So I've got this one, which I'm going to start with, which is The Heroes of Olympus. Then the next book is The Mark of Athena, and then I've also got Son of Hades. These are books 2, 3 and 4 in the Heroes of Olympus series. So I'm going to be reading those ones. Then I've also got Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen and The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I'm going to be making this like a books about the sea reading vlog while I'm at the beach and like doing a little van tour thing. So yeah, I haven't fully decided how I'm what I'm going to call this, but yeah, basically going to do like a week in the life in a van while I read books about the ocean. So to give you like a little mini van tour, I'm not going to actually move. The front of the van is all very, very normal. I have a fridge. I have a still hot dog. These have just got like cutlery and bowls and stuff in it. This one is my my cooker. It's got gas under there. This one is, if I move my cup, where's the little hole? This one is a sink. Then there's more people. Then this one will lie flat to be my bed, and I've got a suitcase full of clothes there, but I've put some stuff in these cupboards as well. I can't fully get this one back far enough to access all of the cupboards properly, so I'm probably not going to unpack everything. But that is the van that I'm in. It's not my van, I have hired it for a week. But so far, I mean, I say so far so good. I've only been in it like 3-4 hours and haven't left yet, so you know, I don't know quite how it's going to be, but hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. Anyway, I'm going to read a bit of my book and just kind of chill out for a bit. I might attempt to make a cup of tea, I might not. I might just go and buy a coffee or something in a minute. I haven't decided. I thought I probably should introduce you a bit better than I did just now. So I thought I'd do a quick update before I go to bed properly. It is about 9:30, but it's dark out. Completely dark out. I've got my lights on. I've got my sleepy dog. She's fast asleep. She's had a very long day. Oh no, I've got a moth in here. I've got my windows open because it's really hot. Yeah, it's been a long day for Bracken, so she's quite exhausted. Oh, you're not even a moth, you're a big daddy long legs. Well, I definitely don't want you in here. You can fuck right off. Gonna have to deal with that. 1 sec. Did you die? No. I'm gonna have to do this properly and come back. Okay, so killed the daddy long legs. So in my effort to make this vaguely reading vlog, I am reading Percy Jackson and, well, it's not, Heroes of Olympus, Son of Neptune. I am 154 pages through. So this is book 2 in the Heroes of Olympus series. So this series takes place about, I think, 6 months maybe after the end of the first Percy Jackson series. And in book 1, The Lost Hero, we meet Jason, who turns up at Camp Half-Blood and has no memory of who he is or of anything. But it turns out he is a Roman demigod. And Percy, who has been missing through this time, and Jason were both leaders of their camps, and they have been swapped by Hera/Juno. So in book 2, we are following basically the exact same story, but the opposite way around. So we're following Percy, who has turned up at Camp Jupiter with no memory. Jason is missing from Camp Jupiter, and of course we're going to then find out that that there are Greek and Roman demigods. I have read this series before, but I'm really enjoying the reread. I'm really enjoying meeting the characters again, because we've got some fantastic characters in this series. In my opinion, this second series, Heroes of Olympus, has a better group of characters than the Percy Jackson first series. I love Jason and what's her name? Whatever, I can't remember her name, but there's a girl that is with Jason. It will come back to me. And I really like Frank and Hazel as well, so I'm really liking meeting them. And we've got a lot more Nico action in this series as well, which is fantastic because Nico's just fab. So yeah, really enjoying the Heroes of Olympus. I also have been listening to Discovery of Witches. I think I'm about 20 chapters in, so I think I'm about 5 hours. No, wait, wrong way around. I don't really know how far I am in, but I will try and figure it out. But I'm probably over a quarter, nearly halfway through, maybe about a third through, who knows. I'm enjoying A Discovery of Witches. It's not my favourite. Like I like it, but I'm not loving it. I feel like there's a lot of, I don't really like Matthew at the moment. He seems to be angry a lot for very minimal / no reason. Diana seems a little bit kind of mopey. She's not a character I'm particularly warming to. And I don't feel like the plot has properly kicked in yet for me to get to understand sort of what the plot is enough for me to be like, yes, I'm going to enjoy this. But for my reading vlog that I have been working on for over a month now, which is reading the fantasy Goodreads Choice Award winners of the last 12 years, the last book, well, I've got 2 more books I need to read for that vlog. One of them I'll be reading actually in this one, and the other one is book 3 in Discovery of Witches, which is why I am reading those books at the moment. So I am going to carry on with the series, finish the series, because I need to get to book 3, unless I really hate them. But today has been a fun day. I picked up the van, driven up to Woolacombe. It was been really hot today. It's been, I don't actually know how hot it's been because my phone has had no signal all day, which honestly I'm okay with. But we went to the beach. Bracken played on the sand and played in the sea a little bit. We walked around the village, had some chips. Then I kind of then got a little bit like, I don't really know what to do. So I came back and we spent a couple of hours just sat in the van, just kind of just chilling out. You know, sometimes you just want to like chill out. And I guess that's a bit of a downside of having a van, is you don't really have anywhere to just go and sort of chill. And then I was parked in a car park, but obviously I couldn't stay in there overnight, and so I was planning on driving around on the Esplanade and find somewhere that I could park up and sleep on the side of the road, but I couldn't find anywhere that I could, I couldn't find a single space. So I'm in a campsite tonight, which, to be honest, I'm fine with that. A, for the safety and everything, but also it's my first night in a van, so I kind of am quite happy to be in a campsite where there is that added safety element while I'm getting used to what it's like to be in the van. I don't plan on spending every night in a campsite. I do plan doing some sort of like wild camping while I'm here, while I'm on this trip, but again, I'm going to just kind of see what happens, really. I'm just going to play it by ear. But yes, that was today. What time is it? It is 9:10, so it's not late, but it's one of those things, and I've always found this whenever I'm camping, as soon as it's got dark, you're kind of like, okay, well, now what? And that is, I think, a downside of being in a camper, and this is quite a small camper van, but now my bed is down, I have no room. So let me flip you around and show you. So, excuse my feet, but this is all of the space I have got. I can't really even open up my fridge because I don't have enough room because my bed is down. I haven't put any water in Bracken's bowl just because I don't want to spill it all over. But then there's my front seats. This pashmina is my kind of privacy curtain from the front because I don't have a proper one, because I don't think that. And there's no curtains in the front. I pulled my curtains everywhere else. I'm gonna maybe read a couple more chapters of Heroes of Olympus. I love Rick Riordan books just because they read so quickly. I started this one today and I'm 155 pages in. You know, like, you can just fly through them. So even though the Heroes of Olympus are all big books, like they're all best part of 500 pages, I think. 510 this one. So, you know, they don't need to be that big. They are all far too long, but I just fly through them and I really enjoy them. I've got a very sleepy puppy dog who just now, she was just sleeping sideways across my pillows, and I was like, Bracken, we're not having that, I'm afraid. You're going to have to move a little bit. So we're going to go to bed. Well, I'm going to read a little bit more. We're going to go to bed and I will talk to you tomorrow and tell you about my plans for tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. So today it is Monday. I am still in Willicombe. Me and Bracken are, I can't really see, been blinded by the sun. Me and Bracken are just going for a morning walk. We're going along the Tarka Trail. Don't really know where we're going to go. Just going to walk until we've had a bit of exercise. So my plan for today, I might go back into the village, stop to get a coffee and breakfast. Haven't really decided, I might not do that. But then I'm going to drive down. My plan is to stop at Tintagel tonight. So that's going along the North Devon and North Cornwall coasts. I might stop at a place called Boscastle, where there is a museum of witchcraft and magic, which just sounds quite cool. Might go to, there's like a little lookout point there as well. But I want to stop at Tintagel. That is where King Arthur was supposed to be born. There's King Arthur's castle. And it looks pretty cool. So I want to go there. I have been there before, but like as a very young child. Bracken! But that is my plan for the day. I will check in when we do something else. I have no idea whether you're able to see anything of this because I can't see the screen because the sun is a bit too bright. Hang on. Bracken, what's happened to your tail? What's happened? You've got a tail extension, have you? Oh no, oh dear. You silly girl. So I just thought I'd actually explain. The Tarka Trail is a walk between, I think it's along the North Devon coast, and it's based on the book Tarka the Otter by someone. I'll find out who it's by in a minute. Basically, yeah, the book Tarka the Otter is about an otter called Tarka. I have read it when I was a child. I have no recollection of what the book is actually about, but it was quite well known in like the 70s and 80s, I think. And there's this footpath that's, I think it's only about sort of 20 or 30 miles. It's not the longest like trail in the world, but it is where the book was set, which is something I quite like, that, you know, there are so many fantastic books and stories, and the North Devon Council have made almost a bit of like a natural tourist destination out of a book, which, you know, we as book people, we always like. So I haven't seen any otters, don't expect to see any otters, but me and Bracken are enjoying, at the very least, a nice path and some greenery, which makes a nice morning walk. Hello, it is 5 o'clock on Monday. I'm in Boscastle. So I've got a very hot and puffy Bracken on the front seat. She's been on a run, been swimming in the river, and is just, it's a really hot day. And she's just a little bit tired, so she's just having a little rest there. So today we left Wollacombe about midday. We just sort of chilled out, actually a little bit earlier than that, left about maybe 11ish. We chilled out in the campsite for quite a while this morning. We stopped into Clovelly for a couple of hours and just kind of had a little bit of an explore there. We've now stopped into Boscastle. There was a museum of witchcraft that I thought would be quite cool to go to, but it was closed, and also it didn't allow dogs, so I wouldn't have been able to go into it anyway. But yeah, I've been in Boscastle now for about maybe only about an hour or so. But if I'm totally honest, the car park I'm in is free, so I'm going to chill out here for a couple of hours. Still reading Percy Jackson, Son of Neptune. And then, yeah, I'm going to chill out here for maybe an hour or so, and then drive down to Tintagel. There's a car park that I know in Tintagel is 24 hours and you can stay overnight in it. So the one I'm in at the moment, even though it's free from 4 PM, you can't stay overnight. So I can't stay here later than 11 anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking if I head down to Tintagel at about sort of 6ish, then I can find a nice corner to park in, park up. Me and Bracken can go for dinner, and then by the time we come back, if we have a nice long relaxed dinner, basically if I remember to bring my book with me, we can then just kind of start setting up for night. So obviously last night I spent the night in a campsite, so it was all kind of secure and safe, and I was obviously allowed to be there. Tonight I'm planning on spending it in a car park, which I am well aware is not, well, this car park allows overnight, allows you to stay overnight, but I know obviously it's not as safe, but I'm going to just kind of see how it goes, see how I feel. I might get there and decide actually I'm not happy with this at all, and then I'll just go and find a campsite. I am literally winging it. There's some people who've just pulled in opposite me and might be able to see me talking to myself, which is always quite awkward. Anyway, because we're a booktube channel, so I'm reading Son of Neptune. I'm currently 240 pages through, so I'm about halfway through. Loving it. I mean, I just love the Percy Jackson books. I think Rick Riordan's writing is fab. It's so quick, so easy to read. But yeah, so we're just about to start on the quest. So Percy has been sent on a quest with Frank and Hazel. They're both from Camp Jupiter. They both are quite interesting characters. They've both got these secrets that we as the reader don't necessarily know about. We've pretty much understood what Hazel's are. So Hazel is Nico's sister. She is a daughter of Pluto, Hades in Greek. So Hades is the daughter of Pluto, and she has the gift of, so Pluto in the Roman mythology controls everything under the ground, so not just the dead. So she has the gift of basically she can pull precious substances from the ground. However, she was dead. Nico has brought her back from the underworld. She died in the 1940s. So Hazel has got the secret that she was dead, and also she brings up cursed, any of the precious rocks and stuff, metals that she brings up from the earth are cursed. If you touch them, you will basically die quite fairly soon, which ain't great. And Frank, we don't really know what. So Frank has been told always that he's got the powers of the Zhang family, so his mother's family, but we don't know what those powers are. He's only just been claimed by his father, which is Mars, the god of war in Greek mythology, Ares. So yeah, it's quite good. We're learning about. I like the way that we're learning about the Roman gods, quite slowly, you know, it's not an info dump of learning about everyone at once. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We're on the quest at the moment, and we'll see what happens. I'm also really enjoying these sort of little Easter eggy moments. So the leader, the praetor of Camp Jupiter is Raina, and she said to Percy, "Do you remember me?" He's like, "No, I don't remember anyone." She said, "You blew up the spa where me and my sister lived." And in one of his adventures, I think it was the second book, him and Annabeth went to what was Circe's island, and blew it up. But we met Raina. She had speaking lines in that book. So I really like that there's these kind of like crossover elements, and like it's kind of pulling back in from characters that we met previously. Even though, you know, I didn't remember actually, you know, I didn't immediately see the name Raina, and I was like, oh yay, we met her a while ago. What's going on with this bit of hair? Oh well. But yeah, enjoying the book so far. 260 odd pages to go. To be honest, because I'm reading it so quickly, I will probably get it done within the next, possibly even finish it. I probably won't finish it tonight, but it'll be probably done tomorrow. I have stopped listening to A Discovery of Witches, not because I've stopped listening to it, but basically because my phone is low on battery and I didn't charge it last night because I'm an idiot, even though I was at a... But so far with Discovery of Witches, Matthew has just taken Diana to his house in France. So my immediate thoughts with Discovery of Witches, like I said, I'm probably nearly halfway through. I don't think I like Matthew. He's very angry a lot of the time, and he's always right, and you know, he's very controlling, and not controlling in like I say a good way, but not controlling in a way that could be okay, controlling in a way that's not okay. So things like Diana told him how she always used to ride and she knows horses, and she was, you know, petting this particular horse in France, and he was like, no, step away from that horse. That horse is too dangerous for you to go near. And she's like, well, look, I'm stroking its nose. She kisses it on the nose. He's like, it will bite you. Get away from it. Get away. You can talk to one of the other horses. And it's just like, what does this prove? Like, what does this show? I don't feel like his personality, even though he's, you know, he is the love interest, but I don't feel like his personality is very positive. His personality is kind of a dick. So yeah, not my favourite male character that I've ever met in a book. But it's alright so far. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking to myself and get back to Mab. Hello, it is 8:15 on Tuesday night, and I am in the car park in Tintagel. If I show you outside, it's quite a nice car park. It has actually got this area for motorhomes, so even though I am obviously very clearly in a car park, I do feel relatively safe. There is a motorhome right next to me. There's like half a dozen others around the way as well. We've got no view at all out the windows, but you know, I think it's going to be fine here tonight. I've just gone down to the fish and chip shop and got chicken and chips. The diet starts later, you know. So far with my van life experience, I am finding food difficult because, yes, I have got like a little hob thing I can cook, and I have got water. It's quite tough to find stuff that I can... I've got a very shiny nose. It's quite tough to find stuff that I can cook in here that's easy enough to cook just on a hob in a van, but also is actually like decent food. So I've been getting takeout so far for everything. And And I mean, part of that is because, I think I was saying earlier, I didn't charge my phone last night because I'm an idiot. So I've been spending most of the day today trawling around trying to find places to charge my phone. And now, again, I'm an idiot. I can't find my plug. I have my USB charger, but I don't have the plug to actually go into a cafe tomorrow and charge my phone. So I'm just charging it off the battery and hoping that I can do that for a little bit longer tonight. Yeah, like I said, it's about 8 o'clock. It is starting to get dark. Bracken is already asleep. She has decided that she is sleeping on the driver's seat tonight. So if I flip you around, there she is. Baby, Bracken. You just opened up your eyes. You're properly fast asleep, my darling. You're not wanting to talk to me. Okay, hello. She's had a very long day. Yeah, I think yesterday was quite exhausting, I think, for Bracken because everything was quite new and a bit overwhelming. Today we have done a lot and it's been so hot. And I do think that she has got just a little bit overheated possibly. But she's had lots of water. When we were in Boscastle, we went for a walk and she jumped in the stream a few times, so she has been able to cool herself down, but I think she has just got hot and tired. Poor little bub. So tomorrow's plan, I'm gonna... No, that's a really awkward angle and actually less comfortable. Tomorrow's plan, I feel like... Draw me like one of your French girls. Anyway, sorry, chatting shit now. Well, all I'm trying to do is tell you what my plan for tomorrow is. So tomorrow, I can stay here in this car park until 11. I mean, I can stay longer. I just need to pay again, which is fine. But I want to go to Tintagel Castle, which is where, in mythology, King Arthur was born, as in like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. There's lots of really cool sort of like witchcrafty shops here as well. Again, there's a lot of Arthurian legend around Tintagel. Because like, yeah, as well as Arthur being born, I believe his sister Morrigan was also something to do around Tintagel as well. So yeah, might want to go down to the castle, have a little wander through town, look at some of these witchy shops if I can go in them with little miss. And then the driving plan for tomorrow is I want to try and get down to Land's End. I've never been to Land's End before, so I'm going to head down there. It's a couple of hours drive, so it's totally doable across the day. I might make a couple of stops, might stop in St Ives, I might not, haven't decided. I don't think I'm going to stop in Newquay. I was thinking about it, but I think it's just going to be too busy and not going to be, it's not going to be as sort of fun as I'm kind of, like, it's not really going to be what I'm wanting. So I don't think I'm going to stop in Newquay, but I think I will possibly stop in St Ives. There's a couple of other towns along the north coast that I might stop at, and then get down to Land's End. Hopefully can find somewhere to park up and spend the night at Land's End. And then it's the south coast the following day. But yeah, all in all, no complaints here. I'm going to read a bit more and then I'm going to go to bed. It is one of those things, like, I don't think I was saying this yesterday, but because it is getting dark, it's sort of, there's only so much you can do in a van by yourself when it's dark. So I'm probably gonna again have another early night. It's quite stuffy in here, but again, because I'm just in a car park, I don't really want to have my windows open, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I might crack my windows a little bit just to get a little bit of a breeze, I think, but I'll see you in the morning. So I'm walking up to Tintagel Castle, which, if I zoom, is there. So I'm just on a little walk with Bracken at the moment. She's gone mad. Tintagel Castle is meant to be the birthplace of King Arthur. So there's a lot of Arthurian legends in this area, which is quite cool. No, turn around. Yes, I am on my way to Tintagel Castle. Just taken Bracken for a dog walk. I'm on a little wooden path, which is very cute. Bracken's going absolutely wild. But yeah, should be quite nice. I'm not going to go into the castle because it's 20 quid for entrance and I ain't paying that. I am far too much of a cheapskate to pay 20 quid to go into a lump of rocks that's not even got like a full wall. But I am going to just wander around and have a look, see how close I can get without paying any money. My dog's gone wild, but this is a really cute little path that we're on, which I'm just falling around on because I'm not paying attention to where my feet are. So I'll show you the views when I get there. So I'm at Tintagel. Here is Tintagel Castle and the bridge that spans the two parts of the castle. Posh old building. And a puffy girl who keeps on wanting to run off. But we're not allowed to run off, are we, Bracken? No, where's you and you that way round? You're going to be a good girl and stay there. Yes, you are. So many places in Britain are linked to the legendary stories of King Arthur. Tintagel Castle, Cornwall, where Arthur was conceived. So I thought he was born here. Caerleon, Monmouthshire, where Arthur held his court. Glastonbury Abbey, Somerset, where Arthur is buried. South Cadbury, Somerset, where Camelot was located. Winchester, Hampshire, where the Round Table hangs. Slaughter-Bridge, Cornwall, where the Battle of Camlin took place. And Dosmary Pool, Cornwall, where Arthur received Excalibur. It's a bit good. Hi. So it is about 7:30 on Wednesday, I think it is. I don't actually know what day we're on. Tuesday. So we're in Mousehole, and we're in this campsite, which is very cute. It's literally like a really small campsite. It feels quite kind of like family run, and it's just feels very friendly and lovely. Bracken has made friends with many people. We've had 3 or 4 people just randomly come up to me to say hello to Bracken, so she is loving it. But I have gone and had a shower and I'm now not actually going to bed just yet, but I'm going to read a little bit. So let's do book talk first. So I finished Heroes of Olympus, Son of Neptune, and I really liked it. I haven't rated it yet, but I feel like it's probably going to be like about a 4-star. Really enjoyed it. Again, I think I was saying this earlier, but I really liked seeing Camp Jupiter. I liked seeing Percy in a kind of new way, because he's having to kind of re-establish himself. So I liked kind of, you know, re-getting to know Percy, and I love the new characters. So I'm now on to the Mark of Athena. I started this one this morning and I am 225 pages through. Like I said, these books are so quick to read. You know, you can just fly through them. So 225 pages through Mark of Athena. I'm enjoying this one. So this one is where our kind of quest is really kicked off. So all of the demigods that we have met in books 1 and 2 are all together for the quest of 7. So we have got Jason, Piper, Leo and Annabeth, who we met in book 1, and then we've got Percy, Hazel and Frank from book 2. So we've got a mix of Greek demigods and Roman demigods. We're learning more about the Roman gods and how they are the same but different to the Greek ones. I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really fab so far. But what I thought I would talk about, van life wise, is what it's like. So obviously tonight I'm in a proper campsite, and like I said, I've just gone and had a shower, so there are actual facilities here. Last night I stayed in a car park. So what is it like when you stay somewhere where there are no facilities? So first of all, it depends where you're kind of staying. Like I feel like wild camping would be slightly easier, where you know you're just by yourself on a moor or something, because you could just, you know, dig a hole, go and have a wee outside the van and no one's around. In the car park it's slightly harder. So I waited until it got dark, and then I kind of hid in the corner, behind the corner of my van, and had a wee. It was like, right, van next to me can't see because my van's in the way. There's no vans coming from the other side. I'm in a corner anyway, so I was like, right, okay, I can be protected here. But otherwise, throughout the day, I will go in to, so public toilets are usually fine, and I will normally just take Bracken into the stall with me because I've got her with me all the time anyway, and that's fine. Otherwise, I'll go into cafes, bars, restaurants and use their toilet. Again, I'll always like buy something, I'll always go in and have a drink or food or something, and then just like ask to use their bathroom. Normally there I'll ask someone if they could hold on to Bracken while I go to the bathroom. I wouldn't want to take a dog into the toilet in a cafe. It just feels a little bit gross, and it just feels a little bit kind of unsanitary to have a dog in there. But again, Bracken loves people. She loves meeting new people, so she's always very, very happy to be left with someone, and everyone is usually very happy to have cuddles with her because she is an attention seeking tart. So that's how I work the toilet situation. Shower situation, well, like I said, I've just had a shower, so I'm good now. But otherwise, just don't wash. Like I have wipes and stuff, so I'm like making sure that I'm clean, but at the same time I'm just not having a shower. A lot of beaches have surfer showers, so like cold showers where, you know, you can just go and rinse off after you've been surfing. So I could use them, but again, I'm quite happy not. And again, as you can probably tell, I haven't washed my hair. Honestly, my hair feels fine. I can't be bothered to wash my hair and have it wet because obviously I've got no way to dry it. My towel that I bought isn't great for like drying hair, so I've just left it. I do have dry shampoo in my van, but it's fine at the moment, and I've got I think 2 days left, so might need to crack out the dry shampoo, but you know, we're fine. So that's that. Like I said, it is now 7:30. I've closed the door in the van and it is fairly warm, so I'm going to open the door up again and there's no breeze tonight. I was going to say try and get a bit of a breeze in, but there was no breeze. So it's quite stuffy. But yeah, I'm going to open the door up and I'm going to carry on reading Mark of Athena. So my plan for tomorrow. So I'm in Mousehole, which is right down at the bottom of Cornwall. So I'm about 7 or 8 miles away from Land's End. So tomorrow my plan is I'm going to leave my van here. The person who owns the campsite, I said that's absolutely fine. And I'm going to get the bus to Land's End. It's about an hour on the bus and it's like a 20-minute drive. So bit of a pain, but also the reviews and the feedback I've seen of the car park at Land's End says it's super expensive and they're not great, that a lot of people have had tickets because they've been queuing to get a parking ticket and they charge them from like the minute they go in, and so people have had tickets because they haven't been able to get a parking ticket quick enough. I don't want to spend £7 for parking to just go to Land's End and take a photo of the signpost. So I'm going to take the bus instead, which would be a lot cheaper. I don't think Bracken's ever been on a bus. It'll be an adventure for her. And then I think after that I'm going to start making my way back up the south coast. So I think I'm planning on spending the night at Falmouth tomorrow night. So I want to stop in just past Polzeth and stop and take some photos of St Michael's Mount, which is quite cool. Then I'm not really sure what my plans are, like where I'm planning on stopping tomorrow. Might go into, I don't know if I want to go into Polzeth. Again, it's not very far away, it's a bigger town, but because I've got Bracken with me, it's harder to kind of get around and do things in town, and likewise I've got to have somewhere to park the van, which isn't always the easiest. Again, because it's only a hire van, I'm not used really to driving it that much, so parking can be a little bit of a struggle because I'm not fully aware of how big I am. But yeah, I think my plan is to end tomorrow night in Falmouth. I have a friend who also lives in a van, who actually lives in a van, but who spends most of his time in Falmouth. He's ironically not there at the moment, but he's given me the names of a couple of places where I can stay for free. So I'm going to check them out tomorrow, and then yeah, that's my plan. Go and spend a bit of time exploring Falmouth and go from there. But I'm going to open the door, get some air in here, and go back to reading my book. Hello. So I realised that I never actually filmed anything yesterday. Running out of moisturiser. So today we're going to do a makeup and shit talk while I go through what I did yesterday. Bracken has eaten her breakfast, which is why you can hear kind of rattling. So yesterday we went to Land's End. So we camped at Mousehole last night, which is quite close to Land's End. It was a really, really cute campsite. Really liked it there actually. It felt very, very friendly, very safe, very, very, very nice. We got the bus down to Land's End. So I'd looked online, so a lot of people had said that the parking at Land's End was extortionate, and hello darling, and Bracken, where are you going? I don't want you that side. She's wet as well on top of my duvet. Yeah, so the parking at Land's End was extortionate. There was a high chance of getting a parking ticket because you needed to buy your ticket within about 5 minutes, and if the queues were too long you were sort of any later than that, then you got a ticket even though you had paid for parking. And I just thought actually it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's cheaper and probably easier for me to just take the bus. So we took the bus down to Land's End. We spent about an hour wandering around Land's End. I will pop in, I might have already, or I will now pop in some photos of there. I didn't film anything at all, so you only got photos. Then we came back and we did a little walk around Mousehole Village, which is very, very cute. There's no chance I was driving through that. I had actually already the day before accidentally driven through part of the village, and it's all tiny little streets that are barely wide enough for a car, let alone a camper van. And so I was like, nope, we are walking, we are not driving there. So that took us up to about lunchtime, and we were both quite hot by that point because yesterday it was roasting. So we then jumped in the van and we headed down the road. We went to take a quick photo of St Michael's Mount. I just very sneakily sort of stopped in a car park, ran across and took a photo and left that car park quickly and hope that I don't get a ticket. And then we came up to Falmouth. We got to Falmouth at about 4 o'clock. I was hoping to be able to park in Falmouth, but I couldn't find anywhere where I could actually park overnight. Falmouth Council have really tightened up on parking overnight. There used to be lots of roads where you could park overnight. There used to be lots of car parks where you could, and they've really tightened it up, so there was nowhere that I could actually go. So I'm in a campsite about a couple miles outside of Falmouth, and I'll be totally honest, this is the first time on this trip where I've been somewhere where I didn't feel 100% safe. This seems to be both a campsite and a permanent caravan park, and there's a lot of people in caravans who seem to live here permanently, which is fine, but then it gives a completely different vibe compared to people who you know, are just travelling. So there was this guy who was talking to me yesterday, who said that he had bought a caravan, it had been stolen, and now he lives in a tent. And I feel for him, because that's a really shitty kind of place to be, where all of your possessions have literally been towed off in the caravan that you bought. But also that's kind of the people that are here. They are people who have, you know, there's a couple of people here who live in tents, who aren't here camping, they live here in a tent. So I didn't feel 100% comfortable here. It just had, maybe it's because it's the end of season, but it just had a vibe that I wasn't really enjoying. But this morning my plan is to drive back up to Falmouth, and then I'm going to go and get breakfast in Falmouth, and there's a couple of bookshops, of course, that I want to visit in Falmouth, and I will try to remember to take you along with me in them, depending on how well behaved Bracken's being. I'll do. Then I'm going to St Austell, where my friend Kath lives, so I'm meeting up with her at about lunchtime. Tonight will be my last night in the van, so once I've seen Kath, I then need to decide where I'm staying tonight. Tonight is the night when I still don't know where I'm aiming for tonight. Ooh, hair is feeling very naughty. I might not brush it with this brush. Yeah, on my whole, because my whole idea for this trip was to not actually plan everything, I hadn't planned where I was going to be staying, but I'd kind of got vague points that I was aiming for each night, and then I just found somewhere when I got there. So tonight is the only one where I don't really know, because it was all kind of dependent on when I met Kath, how long I'd spend with her, whether I was going to be there in the afternoon or not. I have a friend who lives in Falmouth, but he's not here at the moment, so I was potentially going to be spending a little bit longer in Falmouth and then going up to Kath later, but I'm not now because he's not here, so I don't know. I'm thinking my friend Suki has just been on holiday in a cute place on the south coast of Devon, and I might go and stay there if I can, or I might go to somewhere if I don't feel like doing that, I might go up on Dartmoor or something and wild camp on the moors. But yeah, really, all in all, I have no idea where I'm going tonight. Zero plans, actually zero plans, and we'll just take today as it comes. So I'm going to pack up slightly, take my slightly damp dog off my bed, Should probably take her for a walk, and then we're going to get going. Hi baby. Hello. You want to say hello? So, we'll see you later. I promise I will try to remember to take you out and take you around at least bookshops. Oh, that's the other thing. Reading update. So, still reading Mark of Athena. I am up to page 404. So I'm a really, really good chunk of the way through this one. I'm going to take this one with me when I go for breakfast, and I might read this one while I have breakfast. Hi, baby. Otherwise, it might be this evening when I read this one, because I obviously am going to be talking to my friend over lunch. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really, really good. The heroes have got to Rome. And again, that's really cool to see, sort of almost like the origins of a little bit more of the kind of like the origin places rather than everywhere set in America. But yeah, really enjoying it, and we'll update you when I've read some more. Bye. So my day today it's been quite a long day. So I parked up last night in Falmouth. I wasn't the biggest fan of the campsite I was in last night, so I left fairly early. I left at about 9, slightly before 9, and went into Falmouth town. I know there's a few really nice bookshops in Falmouth, so I wanted to visit a couple of those bookshops. I have got a little bit of footage that I'm going to just insert here. If I can be really clever, I'll try and make this be a voiceover while I show you where I was. So there were 3 bookshops that I went into. There was the Falmouth Bookseller, which was super, super cute, really nice. Well, they were all independents. There was Beowulf Books, which is a bookshop and bar. Sounds amazing. Was amazing. Also, the books in there were so, so cheap. I didn't find anything that I wanted in Beowulf Books, but they were new releases for like 4 or 5 quid. I have no idea how they got them so cheap. Falmouth Bookseller, normal prices. And then the last place I went to, I have forgotten the name of, but was this really cool indie that sold lots of like feminist and yeah, mainly feminist books, which was really, really cool. I bought, it was called Rubicund. I bought You Make a Fool of Death with Your Beauty in there because I saw it and I wanted it. So I also went for breakfast in Falmouth, which was delicious, and because nothing opened until 10 o'clock and I got there at like 9 o'clock, 5 past 9, me and Bracken just wandered up and down the pier and the harbour front a few times as well. We then drove to St Austell to see my friend Kath, and we had lunch and had spent most of the afternoon there with Kath and her son, which was absolutely lovely. We went down to a little beach at a place called Charleston, sat on the beach. Bracken was being an absolute angel, being really, really, really good. And then when I left St Austell, I was trying to decide, oh, I've got another daddy long legs visitor, I'm going to have to get rid of him. When I left St Austell, I was sort of thinking, I had 2 ideas in my mind. There was this place south of Plymouth that my friend had mentioned that I thought I might go to. I've got another fucking daddy long legs in here. It might be the same one. Left St Austell, and I had 2 ideas where I wanted to stay. I either wanted to stay at this place south of Plymouth, the little coastal like village that my friend Suki had told me about, or come up onto Dartmoor. And then I decided, you know what, I've spent the whole week on the beach and going around kind of coastal places, let's go onto the moors. So Dartmoor it was. Didn't know where I wanted to stay, so it's been a bit of a mission, to be honest. So I kind of drove here, drove to a town called, where did I go to first? First went to Ivy Bridge and then realised that's not really close enough to the moors for me to find a place just like where I'm parked now, where I'm on the moors. So then I was trying to find another place that I could get my sat-nav to direct me to. I didn't like it. The sat-nav kept sending me up these roads that would say either unsuitable for vehicles or cars only, unsuitable for large vehicles. And I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to ignore what sat-nav's saying, and I'm going to, they look pretty out that window. And I'm going to just go wherever I want. So I ended up just kind of following directions towards Two Bridges in Princeton. Princeton or Princetown? I think it's Princetown in Dartmoor. I'm not actually 100% sure where I am. I think I'm at Beltor. So yeah, I just kind of drove around a little bit, and then I got to about 6:30 and I was hungry. So found a pub, stopped in there, asked the person in the pub where I could park, and she basically said, carry on up this road, there's a car park, you'll be fine up there. So I carried on up that road. I'm now inside a car park, and aside from the fact that there is a car behind me who I don't like, I've no reason not to like the man in the car behind me, other than he's just in a car and I just find it a little bit weird. I'd rather him not be in the car. This does feel like the perfect spot for like a dodgy deal. So it's hot again tonight, so I've got all my windows open, which means I'm going to have to close up all my windows. Bring Bracken off the front seat and back into bed with me, and then I'm going to, because it is now dark, sun's setting that way. If I turn you around the other way, it's completely pitch black. If you look at the front, it is dark now. I'm going to close up all my curtains and get me to bed. In terms of reading update, I'm still reading The Mark of Athena. I am up to page 457, so I've got about 100 pages left. I'm still really enjoying it. Like, I know these are, then I mean, well, I think they are actually, like, I just think they're really fun. They're easy to read. They are yeah, fun, easy to read books. They are exciting, and I'll be honest, I learned stuff, mainly, you know, well, I learned stuff about Greek and Roman gods, which is more than I knew before. So, and I'm really enjoying my reread of these books, and I'm going to now, well, I've got 2 more books in this series, and then I'm going to carry on with the Trials of Apollo as well. I've never read all of the books in Trials of Apollo. I've read the first one and I've read the last one. I haven't read the 3 in the middle. So I'm going to look forward to reading those. Maybe over this year, might be a little bit longer. Might be going into next year. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to the other books. Well, I won't actually. Who am I lying? I'm going home tomorrow. I have a 3rd Percy Jackson book and 2 other books about the sea, which I haven't read, which I'm not going to get to now. I have been listening to A Discovery of Witches on audiobook while I've been driving, and I finished book 1 today. I don't really know what I think about it. I get why people say it's like an adult Twilight, and I get that from sort of like from 2 point of views, because it feels like an adult Twilight with the sort of patheticness of Diana, who is very much a Bella Swan kind of pathetic character. And it also reminds me a lot of 50 Shades of Grey, not in the smuttiness, but in the way that the 2 characters interact. So Matthew reminds me a lot of Christian Grey in the fact that he doesn't allow Diana to, like, do a thing without his say-so and him overseeing it, which I don't like. And I know obviously 50 Shades is a Twilight fanfiction, or originated as a Twilight fanfiction, so it's one of those where I'm like, I see it as adult Twilight, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not convinced that's a good thing. It's got, for me, it's got the negative parts of Twilight and not any of the positive, and I'm not a Twilight girly, so I don't think there are many positive parts of Twilight. Him in his car's still there. Maybe he's sleeping in his car. Oh. But because I need to read book 3 for this vlog project that was meant to be going out next weekend. Not going to happen. I am going to carry on audioing book 2 and 3. I felt like book 1 was far too long. I don't know how many pages it is, but it was like about a 26-hour audiobook, which honestly it just felt like there was so much not necessary stuff going on, and I did get kind of bored for quite a lot of it. I haven't obviously rated it because I haven't got my Corpal spreadsheet here on my laptop. It would probably be about a 3.5, I think. But you know, it was fine. I'm going to carry on because I have to carry on, but I don't have to. I'm going to carry on. Whether or not I do get around to book 3, we will see. If book 2 is kind of crappy as well, then I might not. And to be honest, I've seen a few reviews of book 2 that don't look great. So I got book 1 from the library, from my library's audiobook thing, library. And for some reason it was like a 45-hour audiobook. So I was trying to work out if it was all 3 books, but it wasn't. It was the audiobook and then just random abridged chapters for another 20 hours. So no idea what it was about. But it meant that I then had to buy books 2 and 3 because the library didn't have books 2 or 3, which is annoying. But yes, so that's that one over and done with, and I need to move on to my next audiobook. I don't think I've got it downloaded. I might not audio tomorrow, I might just listen to music tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to now get myself ready for bed and probably finish off Mark of Athena. So this is my view that I've woken up to. That's my van, and I've got a whole flock of wild ponies as my neighbours this morning. So I'm on Dartmoor. Me and Bracken are going to walk up there. I think that is Beltor. I might be wrong. I'm not a Dartmoor expert. I don't necessarily know where everything is. I've got Bracken on lead at the moment just because we've got all the ponies around and I don't want her to either scare them or to, or for them to be mean to her is what I'm trying to say. Oh, they're so gorgeous. So Dartmoor ponies are wild. They aren't a specific breed. In fact, I think behind this very pretty kind of chestnut and white one, the one that's walking over the ridge now, her may be a proper Dartmoor pony. And we've got a foal here as well. I can't actually see on the screen, but we've got a foal as well, which is gorgeous. But Dartmoor ponies are a little bit, they live wild on the moors, but they are a little bit of a just mix and match ponies rather than a specific breed, whereas we've got Exmoor ponies as well who are a real breed, a rare breed. But me and Bracken are going to go for a walk. She's not very used to horses, so I don't know how well she's going to get on, but let's go. So I'm on Dartmoor. I'm at the top of Beltor. Bracken is having a grand old time. Let's climb up here. And yeah, it is really, really beautiful here. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and we decided that we would go for a walk up on the tor. Let's climb up the tor a bit more. It's quite hard to climb up something when I've got my phone in one hand and I'm kind of looking to see what's in the viewfinder. So, can we see here? My van is parked over there, at the end of that road. But it is a gorgeous view. I'm quite out of breath. It was quite a steep walk up. So on Dartmoor there were hundreds of these rocky hills which are called tors, and like I said, I'm on Beltor. The army does a walk for like school children called the 10 Tors. I'm trying to get up there, where they basically send kids out on the moor for a couple days. I think it's 1 night, 2 days. And they have to walk between 10 of the tours. They don't all have the same ones, so they can't follow the leader. They have to go by map work. I did not do the 10 tours when I was in school because I was not that kind of kid. But it's pretty stunning, right? So all of this brown is either bracken, that is bracken, not my dog, the plant. There's another van over there. Up you get, Bubba, good girl. And it's just very, very pretty here. So today is me and Bracken's last day in our van. Once we've done this walk, we're going to be heading home. And then need to clean the van and take it back. Let's see if I can. So I said it's our last day today in the van. I've had a great time. I've really enjoyed it. I'm sitting in a pile of midges here, so I might move. I don't know if I would actually. Oh God, this is a harder step than I thought. Oh fuck, no, don't go anywhere. Stay there. Drop my water bottle. I'll get them back in a minute. So, as I was saying, it's our last day on the van. I'm not sure that I would actually buy a van myself or want to live in a van full time. It's been really fun and I've had such a good time, but it's also been fairly stressful trying to find places to park. It's not been as cheap and as easy as I thought it would be, like not only with the parking but things like when I get somewhere I've got to work out, you know, do I have water access? My battery runs fine, so I don't really need to hook up to electricity very often, but do I have the access for that if needed? Is there basically, yeah, do I have all the amenities that I need for a night, or do I need to go and pay for a campsite? So this week I've spent 5 nights in the van, and 3 of those nights have been in campsites. I was planning on not spending really any time in campsites, but I've found it actually a lot harder to find places to stay. So I've used campsites a lot more than I'd planned to, but it's been fun. Like I said, I've had a really fun time. I've had such a good trip. Bracken has been an absolute star, haven't you? Yes, you have. You've been a good girl. So I'll do this again. I would do this again, but I would probably do a little bit more planning and kind of figure out where I was going and where I was staying, because completely winging it every night, to be honest, has been fine for most of the time. It was only last night where it was fairly stressful, just because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't even know what I was aiming for. And then when I decided on Dartmoor, I didn't know where to go on Dartmoor. So, hey Bubby, you wanna come over here? Here she is. So yeah, it's been, last night was a little bit stressful, or more stressful than the other nights, but I've had a great time. So I'm going to sit up here, enjoy some views, take some more photos, and then walk back to the van. Bye. Come on, cows, out the road, please, little one. Little sheepies, I know it's nice and cool there, but it's not really the best place to sleep, is it? Oh, banging song. Horses are much more challenging. Look at them, let's get down off the road. Get off a little bit further. You're all beautiful. You're gorgeous. Did they sing me daughters? This is why sheep are dumb. When I asked for sons, you're the saddest bunch. Wild horses. But the temptation to go up and try and say hello to this black and white one, I mean, clearly I'm doing it. She's not going to like it. I think she's quite young. Stay. I've left my door open. Hello. Oh, you're so pretty. You've got the most beautiful mane. You are. You're still a foal. You're still a foal. Aren't you? You're just a baby. Just a baby. Who's your mum? Which one of these ones is your mum? Hello. I'm amazed I've got this close. Hello, gorgeous. You are the prettiest baby. Yes, you are. I've got no food for you. Hello. Hello. And I know I shouldn't feed you anyway. I think that is probably Mum. He seems to be just wanting to make sure that you're okay. Now, I'm not going to hurt you. Good girl. He's walking closer to me. Oh my God. Hello. Hi. I'm touching her. Hello. Oh, you are beautiful. Yes, you are. That's literally made my day. I am so happy. I don't know what that noise was. Hello. Hi. Good girl. Hello. As you can tell, I am no longer in my van. I am back at home. This is Editing Jenny. Hi, nice to meet you. I have got through editing this whole vlog and realised that I never actually wrapped up and ended said vlog. Go me. So I had a absolutely fantastic trip. I really loved it. So you've seen like the little maps going around where I went, where I stayed, the place that I visited. So I started off in North Devon. I'm going to find a map up here, move to the side because I'm intending to do this. Started off in North Devon at Woolacombe. Woolacombe is a place that for me just holds a lot of really special memories. I spent a lot of time growing up at Woolacombe and I love it. It's a lovely little beach village. Spent the night at Woolacombe, then went down to Clovelly, which is a really gorgeous place. It was more expensive than I thought it would be, but there we go, that's the price of tourism. Then I went to Boscastle, which was really cute, Tintagel, which I loved. I really liked walking around the cliffs up there. I then went to Newquay, and me and Bracken went on the beach. We had lunch down on the beach. I don't think I actually included anything from Newquay because I didn't film anything, and then I think I forgot to mention it. But after Newquay, I went all the way down to Mousehole, right down in the south, which was very gorgeous, really pretty town, village, I think. Then the following day, took the bus to Land's End and explored a little bit of Mousehole village, and drove along the south coast to Falmouth. Spent the night at Falmouth and spent then the following morning wandering around Falmouth town. Went up to St Austell to visit with my friend, and then spent my last night on Dartmoor. And you've seen a couple of videos of driving on the moors. I can only apologise for the singing, but you know, you have to sing along when you're driving by yourself. It's basically the rules. So yeah, I had a really fab time. I loved this trip. I loved the experience of being in a van. I think I was saying this in some of the Dartmoor clips. It wasn't the cheapest trip I've ever been on. You know, it would have been cheaper for me to have just stayed in a cottage somewhere. But I wouldn't have got out and done the things I did or gone to as many places as I did. So I really loved it. It's not something that I'd be making like a kind of trip that I'd want to do all the time, just because it, like I said, there was a certain element of stress involved. It was slightly more difficult than I kind of thought it would be, but I had such a fantastic time. In terms of reading, I read 3 books, which I'm impressed with. I took 8 with me, which, you know, I took them knowing that I was being ridiculous. But I read The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, which are both Percy Jackson books, and A Discovery of Witches. I'm currently halfway through House of Hades, which is the 3rd book in Percy Jackson. It's actually the 4th book in Heroes of Olympus, but it's the 3rd Percy Jackson book that I was reading for this vlog. So I'm really happy. I'm glad I read those ones because they're just so much fun. Both of the Percy Jackson books I think I've given them both 4 stars. They were just really fun reads. They were quick reads. No, sorry, I gave them both 4.5 stars. They were both quick reads. I had a great time reading them, and yeah, super fun. Discovery of Witches I've given 4 stars. I co-piled them last night, which now playing back at my kind of thoughts as I was reading it seems quite a high rating. It's a 7.29, so it is only just a 4 star, but still, it's come out as a 4 star, so that's, you know, that's great. And yeah, all in all, had a fantastic trip, got a good amount read, and so I think successful reading week all round. Bracken was an absolute angel, and makes me like happy to know that I can take her on more trips like this. She's, you know, she didn't mind at all. She was so good in the van. She was so good going to all of these new places, and it was just, well, loved meeting people. Bracken made more friends than I did, which, you know, is kind of standard because I'm a grumpy person and don't really like talking to people, and Bracken is a sociable being who loves talking to everybody. But yeah, really good week. I had a great time, and I'm now going to finish editing this vlog, carry on reading the book, and I'm going to watch some of the rugby because it is the World Cup and I like rugby. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you made it this far, leave me a little van emoji. If you liked this video, please leave me a like, subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much.